Welcome to Leading Voices by Global Speakers Federation. My name is Antoni Lacinai. I'm your host, and today I have with me Sylvie di Giusto. Hello.
Hi, Antoni. Thank you very much for having me. I'm so excited to be with you today from sunny Florida to probably more sunny Sweden, or not?
Well, it's snowy and it's pretty dark right now because it's getting into the late evening from my side. So no, not very sunny right now. Sylvie, can you tell me a little bit about who you are, what you're passionate, and what your role is as well?
Mm-hmm. Well, I am a professional international keynote speaker. When you look behind me, you can see I'm one of the world's first immersive keynote speakers. And I help leaders understand how they are perceived by the world and what impact that perception has on a customer decision-making process or on their positioning as a leader in the organization. But if I'm not speaking on stages, I have the great pleasure to volunteer for the National Speakers Association. And I have the honor to represent NSA, the short form for it, NSA, on the board of the Global Speakers Federation. And this is the wonderful reason you and I came together today here.
It is, yeah. And I am also at NSA, but NSA Sweden. You're at the NSA, the US, right?
Mm-hmm, exactly, United States.
So, I mean, this is perhaps the most famous of the associations that we have right now. But still, if you want to share some information to those who don't know, when did it start?
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you very much for saying we are the most famous one. I can certainly say we are currently the biggest one around the world with our membership that goes into the thousands at the moment. And we just celebrated our 50th anniversary. The association was founded in 1973 by someone who we still treasure and have a big spot in our association, in our hearts, called Cabot Robert. Cabot Robert was a keynote speaker himself. And 1973, he gathered a few speakers around him and had this idea that we still carry in us, and many associations do too. I'm not sure if you ever had an American pie, a round pie.
I know about it, yes.
Yeah, he used that as an analogy for saying, why do we all bother about getting a piece of the pie? Instead, we could just make the pie bigger for everyone, and NSA was born. And in fact, from what we know, 20 members joined on the inauguration day, 1973, all put some dollars on the table and said, let's do it. Let's found an association that is dedicated to everyone who makes a living with the spoken word.
You already mentioned what I believe is the purpose, but what if you are in the thousands now when it comes to members? Why are people choosing to be part of NSA US?
Well, thousands of reasons. So let me just focus on a few of them. I think one of the biggest values is our network and our community. We are active on a national level, which means in the United States, but also beyond. We have a lot of international members who even join us. We have more than 32, 33, 34 chapters around the US who also host their own events. We have a big virtual community that everybody can join. And I think what you quickly find out as a professional speaker is, while we are constantly in front of audiences and constantly in front of a lot of people, the profession itself is actually quite lonesome. And you don't find a lot of people who understand what we are doing. I mean, even my husband, my family, my friends, many of people in my network really don't understand what we are doing and the challenges that come with this. So the community is a huge benefit in our case, and also based that one of our core values is abundant generosity. And that core value shows up at every community meeting that you will find. I'm not sure if there is any other place in our industry where you can go and join an event where somebody in our $1 million group, for example, opens up their business plan or their latest initiative and shares the nitty-gritty of building such a successful business, and then says, here, take it for free. That being said, another big value is certainly our digital vault. We have created a digital vault for NSA where you will find recordings and trainings from the last decades, keynote highlights, but also workshops and breakouts, or specifically recorded learning units for our members where they can find out how to build a better business or to become a better speaker. Another reason is certainly the benefits, the pricing benefits that we offer to our members. With such a large community, with some of the providers, let's just say Zoom or other big providers in our industry, you just get better pricing if you approach them. And so our members get a lot of benefit from that. And then there are our designations. We offer the certified speaking professional and the highest designation, which is you can be inducted in our Hall of Fame, also called the CPAE. And we still have our biggest award, not a designation, an award named after our founder, the CAVET Award. And, those designations help you to position yourself as someone in the industry who not just has achieved a certain success in their business, but also promises a certain level of excellence. And as a proof that you are willing doing it and that you also apply to our very high ethical values that we all live by within NSA.
I think you mentioned a lot of my questions that I want to ask.
I want to add one more because,
yes,
as you all know, sometimes life can change in a blink of an eye and something happens to you and your business that you didn't plan for. And we're also very proud of our foundation that helps speakers that are in need of financial or any other support. And I think this is also one of the great reasons to join NSA.
All right. So I wanted to ask you things that you're very proud of, but I think you mentioned many of them. Also, what makes your association successful? I guess that what you just mentioned, the values you have are some of them. But let me ask you another question then. Is there anything that you struggle with? And what could that be? If you mention one thing that this is a challenge for us right now.
Yes. Well, tell me one association that doesn't struggle with a lot of things.
We all do, yeah.
Yes, but I think on the one side, I would actually add it as something that I'm the most proud of, which causes the most struggling, is that since a while and very much driven by our new CEO and our wonderful board of directors, we are going through a lot of change. We had to be very clear, become clear on who we serve in our association and who possibly has other better opportunities to receive what they are asking for, because we can clearly not deliver it. So our current CEO and her wonderful team and our board initiate a lot of change currently. In terms of our membership benefits that we offer, in terms of our perfect target audience that we can serve, in terms of our pricing, in terms of our event structure. And I am so proud of them that they have the guts to do that, especially in an organization that is used to things since 50 years. On the other hand, isn't it fascinating that we speakers all speak in some way about change on stage and encourage our audiences to go with the change and embrace the change? And then very often we struggle the most with it ourselves. So I think if there is one challenge that I observe is that our members have to get used to things that happen now that just are necessary to keep the standards that we all ask for and wish for in our association and in our industry.
Our industry is changing as well. So of course we need to change with it somehow, or even lead the change somehow, for sure. I think that we all are there to facilitate change, even if we don't have that as our core topic. It's what we do. So I agree. What would you say is next on your agenda from NSA the US then?
Oh, a lot of changes as you just heard, but if
Yeah.
we go down to the nitty-gritty, we are super excited that we just launched a storytelling competition that is US-wide, where every single member can participate to tell their story. And it is really a competition where chapters compete with each other. And the end goal is to get a spot on main stage at Influence, our annual convention, which is a big deal. I had the pleasure to perform there myself. I always say it's the hardest stage you can perform off, because you have, on the one hand, all your supportive friends in the audience, but all of them also think, well, I could do that too, right? Because I'm in the same industry, and why do I not have this spot? But we are very excited about that and encourage all our members to contribute. And hopefully then we will see the winner on main stage at Influence. And that being said, Influence is a big animal to organize, and we have a fantastic team at NSA headquarters and a lot of committees involved who help us to create an extraordinary experience for Influence, which this year will even be a day longer. We are moving from 3 days to 4 days. We are also adding back our youth conference, which is something near and dear to all the parenting members that we have, where they can bring their teenage kids to the conference. And we have a lot of new initiatives also for our international guests that we welcome every single year. So we are already in the nitty-gritty of preparing an event that is happening in a few months.
You're giving the rest of us, out in the world, a lot of good inspiration here right now with your concrete tips. And you're talking about goals for this one, but what would you say is your other, what other goals do you have for the coming year?
Well, our goal for the coming year is certainly to become even more clear about who we serve and how we can serve our members the best. Like every association, in every country, there are so many options right now to get the education that you need for your business and for your stagecraft. And these options will become more and more and more over the time, and a lot of virtual options will be added, where it doesn't matter anymore where in the world that you are actually located. So as an association, you have to be crystal clear about who do you serve and how do you serve them. And we are on a fantastic path to define that even better and better and better. And I'm very excited about the future of NSA and what it holds for all of us that are already members and for those who will become members in the future.
Sounds like we need to talk more once you come a little bit further, so we all know about who you serve, because that would help every one of us. How would you say that the Global Speakers Federation, GSF, could help your association? Do you have an idea?
Well, by continuing what we are doing at GSF, which is connecting all the associations around the world, and also leveraging that network that we have. Even if we are the biggest association right now, that doesn't mean that we couldn't learn from other associations of the things, how they do it. And also very often we have very similar challenges, no matter the size of the association, right? I think also that this global network is not just important for the associations itself, it is for the industry, because we all want to have a certain level of excellence and ethics and morals that we all, apply to, not just in the US, around the world. So I think that is tremendously important. And I can only say it from NSA's perspectives. We are proud to be associated with the Federation. We absolutely see the value in being part of GSF, and we support GSF in all matters, as you know.
Thank you so much, Sylvie. Thank you for this talk. It was great.
Thank you very much, Antoni, for doing this. Thank you for the time and effort you put into interviewing all the leaders from around the world. And I cannot wait to hear the other interviews and tune in. And I hope a lot of other members and associations around the world will too.
Yes, I hope that you who sees this got good value out of it. I certainly did, and more to come, of course. Thank you.